Wasn't that great? That was a great, beautiful film. Whenever a film like that with so much character work ends, I'm always sad to see the characters go. My name is Ben Hickernell, and I'm an alumni filmmaker. I made a film, Lebanon, PA, that was here 2 years ago. And it's my great pleasure to welcome the director of this film, Brian Savelson. We have a special guest here tonight. Gabrielle Union is here. I'd love to invite her up on stage. Let's hear it for Gabrielle. So let me just start off with the first question, and then we'll open it up to you, the audience. But this is a lovely character-driven film. What was kind of was there an impetus? Was there a reason why it was these characters in this story that you wanted to tell?
Well, it was always, I always wanted to kind of take something that was familiar and maybe tweak it a little bit. And the two couples in a country house for the weekend is something that we're all familiar with. Usually that goes into like a horror story. So this was, it's like a four-person character study. It's very much, to me, a portrait, and I wanted to just, for the first film, spend my time focusing on the characters and the character work, and the fantastic performances.
Excellent. All right, and do we have any questions in the audience? Sorry, it's bright, so that's what I'm looking at. Oh, here's one here, in the gray in the middle. The question was how Brian worked with the actors and what the rehearsal process was like.
I was very lucky actually to get, a lot of the times you don't get to rehearse, but we did. We got a few days before in the city to do some read-throughs and some rehearsals, and we did a lot of talking about it. And there were changes made to the script as a result of these discussions. Some brilliant additions from Miss Union. But say some words about the rehearsal process, if you would.
Yeah, no, most of the time, like with filmmaking, you don't get any rehearsal time. It's incredibly rare to get everyone's schedules together, and it was difficult with my schedule. Everyone else was sort of available right before filming, and my schedule wasn't as easily coordinated. So I had like a day and a half, like a day, to kind of meet everyone, and then to kind of jump right in. But Brian is incredibly giving, which you also don't get too often. I was trying to remember what, we had a long discussion about something, but I'm trying to remember what exactly that was.
It was the moment right after Seth says this really twisted thing at the fire.
Right.
And there was a line after that we had a long discussion about,
yes.
And it subsequently was omitted, which was a good call, I will say. That worked out. That's on her.
Next question. Over here in the white sleeves. That's you, yeah.
Yeah, this question for both of you. I was wondering, this kind of feedback on what you just said. Are there any scenes that kind of push the audience were able to see?
And the question was, were there any deleted scenes that you were sad to see go that you wish the audience could have seen?
That's right. That's right. There was an extension on the first dinner scene where Gabrielle goes on to try and make the piece, and she talks about how that Mercedes there is actually a Blue Tech hybrid, which is Mercedes lent us the car, so we had to use that terminology. That was cut. Also a good call. No, if there's any Mercedes employees in the room, I apologize. But there was a scene or two otherwise to just kind of move things along. Usually, if she was in a scene, you just left it the way it was.
Since I'm here, yeah.
Next question, over here.
The therapist language and the psychiatrist language was very impressive. Where did you draw from for that? And was that a collaboration?
I mean, for the most part, it's on the page, but I think a lifetime of therapy from pretty much everyone associated with the film. you know, even your ad-libs are informed if you've ever been to therapy. So, yeah, thank God and our therapists for helping to provide the blueprint to keep it authentic.
Yeah, I live in Brooklyn, so we all go to therapy.
And next question, is there anybody in the back? I can't, I had one here, right? You, sir.
All I do and facial pantomimes, and I don't know, are they practical or is it not? Is it natural?
The
Well,
question
give
is
me
kind
a for
of
example. I want to see an impersonation.
In the film, we're talking to you said you keep eye contact, kind of like the person, and then something like this.
I wish I could practice that. I don't think, it's clearly not, it's something that's coming out of the moment. Now I'm gonna have to watch every film or project I've ever done to see if I'm doing that. That's like my shtick. It's like my thing. I don't know. Maybe it's something that Slattery brought out of me. I don't know. Now I'm gonna have to watch and see. I'm gonna have to go and check out Good Deeds and see if I'm doing it in that film as well.
Those expressions actually are priceless when edited. Those are huge. And my favorite moments are those moments where we're in between the dialogue. So thank you for those.
I don't realize I'm doing it, so that's good. I do practice the eyebrow lift that The Rock totally lifted for me, so I try to reclaim that in pretty much every production.
And let me ask you, because you're part of such a wonderful ensemble, what was it like for both of you to work with the other actors in the film?
It was actually fantastic, it's true. It was a strenuous shoot because we're up in the middle of nowhere. You know, we didn't have all the resources in the world, so I put them through the ringer, and they were all super troopers, and I really appreciate that. And they really brought everything. So this film's always been about performances, and without them, I don't know where I'd be. There was certainly a fair amount of discussion, and sometimes even a little bit of contention, and it all came out on the screen just how I wanted it. So I'm really excited about that. What did you think about that?
No, I mean it's I mean you don't get cast like that. I mean I felt pleasantly surprised and lucky to even be called upon to join them. I'm a huge fan of Mad Men, and so to kind of get to play with Slattery and Jena's amazing, and then Zach, I thought I was meeting him for the first time at a rehearsal, and I had met him a couple years prior to that when he was on Friday Night Lights, and we were doing an all-star game, celebrity game at All-Star, and it was like being aired live on ESPN, and I guess I tried to trade him for T.O. And it was still very fresh for him, so when I saw him in New York at rehearsal, he was still a little salty. So it informed our performances. See, T.O. really, he does circle back every so often.
Good, I think we have time for like one or two more. I have one here.
I just have a quick one. How long did the filming process take, like once you started?
Yeah, exactly. It was 3 weeks, about 18, 19 days, give or take, of shooting. It's a crazy bottleneck because there's an enormous amount of preparation. Years of working up to this, and then you spend a few weeks, so you can't screw it up.
And when was the shoot? Because I know personally how long these things can take. Like, so you spent all that time getting it ready, you shot it, and then how long ago was that?
That was in June, and I don't even know what day it is, what month it is. I think it's March.
Right, so that's good. So good. Here you are. Okay, we have one more in the middle here, sir.
How's working with a live bear?
What is it like to work with a live bear? Was the question.
It was actually. I was terrified, and when they bring the bear out, you hear these like chains and this like rattling, and it sounds like Tyrannosaurus Rex is coming or something. But then the bear is just like chilling. It doesn't really. kind of like a monkey actually, where it had like hands and it's just chilling out. And I think it may have been the cast and crew that were more detrimental to the house and the bear in the end. How was it for you? They actually had to be on screen with it.
Yeah, I mean the bear was, you know, there in Hollywood there are literally you could train anything from ants to bears to horses, dogs, whatever. So this was a trained, not so trained.
He had credit.
Upstate New York bear. So he wasn't as on point as we are used to in Hollywood. And that's not to leave out the real bears that came in from the woods. There was like a little guest house that you could kind of see in some shots. That was like our holding area. We didn't have trailer or anything. So it's all of us in that home. And the real bears were like right there. They were non-union as well, so we almost got IATSE'd. It was the whole thing with the non-union bears. But yeah, that was more terrifying, like the real wilderness, living in fear of Lyme disease. That was very tough.
Was that one of your additions to the script?
Yeah, because I really was. I mean, you know, living with a weave in the woods, I was pretty certain things were burrowing in there. Lyme disease just being one of those things I was worried about.
Great. Well, thank you, everyone, and thanks.